there, and welcome to this edition of Startup Central. I'm Nayantara, working from home in New Delhi. This is the only show of its kind dedicated to startups, technology, innovation, disruption. Basically, if it falls under the gambit of the new economy, it's here every weekday on ET Now at 6 p.m. Like all the stakeholders that we get on the show, Team Startup Central thrives on constructive feedback, constructive criticism. So ladies and gentlemen, don't hold back. Keep writing into us. Tell us what's missing in the show, what you want to see, what you don't want to see, how we can do things differently. How else are we going to improve, right? Our email address right on top, suc@etnow.tv. You can also reach out to me directly on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @Nayantara. Now tell me something, if you didn't make it to IIT, or even if you didn't even try to make it to IIT, did you ever dream of going to IIT? Do you think that ship has sailed forever? Maybe not. Like we told you, we talk about innovation over here, and this is perhaps one of the biggest innovations that we've seen from an IIT when it comes to your dreams or possibility of ever attending a class at IIT, graduating from IIT. Yes, it may just be possible, but there is a caveat. You should be familiar with science and maths, obviously. So IIT Madras has come out with a very innovative program. So all of you can get degrees from an IIT. Joining me to talk about this, it's the first ever program in the world from the coveted IIT Madras. The two gentlemen who put this together, Professor Andrew and Professor Prathap. Gentlemen, professors rather, thank you so much. See, I'm already fumbling. I'm in front of professors again after so many years. Professors, thank you so much for joining us here on this episode on ET Now. It's a big day for IIT Madras with what has been launched. Professor Andrew, if I could come to you first, do you want to take our viewers through it? Can I take it as your version of a Coursera, where those who think that they've missed the boat don't have to have missed the boat? They can be in a virtual IIT classroom.
Well, yeah, it's an exciting opportunity, isn't it? Everybody is quite excited. We are also excited about it. So let me maybe give a brief idea of what it is. It's basically a degree where the medium of instruction or the instruction is completely online. So all the courses are delivered online. You can do it from wherever you are. You don't have to travel to the institute as such. Do all the course content, consume it online. But there are enough rigorous aspects to the program, right? So this is an IIT. Things don't happen that easily. So you have to write all your exams and centers. We will tell you which center to go to, and we'll give you hall tickets, etc. You have to go there, write the exams, and that's what you have to do. You have to study what we teach you, study that really, really well, be motivated, be ready to work hard in this chosen area, which is programming and data science. We are offering the program in that area. And if you do all that, you can do foundations with us, you can do a diploma with us from IIT Madras. And finally, if you finish all 3 years, you can get a BSc degree in programming and data science from IIT Madras.
Wow, that really does sound too good to be true. Professor Prathap, are there any caveats? What's the eligibility criteria? You know, you have this IITG exam, which is what is supposed to be good enough. You have kids and students who prepare for years. Sleepless nights is one of the most, it's one of the hardest exams on this planet. And now you're coming out with this. Is it going to dilute the IIT brand at all? Is that a fear, or is it about democratizing and it's okay if you don't make it for IITG, then why have this?
Okay, thank you for having us on your show, Nayantara. Actually, it's a very nice question that you have asked. So yes, our first and foremost aim is to democratize education. And it's also true that we have actually reached a state where we can even attempt this. I think 10 years ago, even if we felt that we would like to do something like this, I don't think we had the tools to do it. So in the past 5 years or so, we have really had a lot of experience offering courses online with rigorous assessment processes that we have gained all that experience and now reached a position where we can offer this kind of facility to have a degree or a diploma from an IIT. So what I would also like to add is that when we say democratizing education, we want to make it open for everyone to try. We don't want them to stop from even trying. So we want to keep it totally open for people to try. At the same time, we are not diluting any quality in any sense, because the process by which we assess them continues to remain rigorous. So we are not making the process of assessment any different, but the entry process is open. People with basic education who have finished 12th standard can actually come for this program, and therefore the audience that is in a position to actually attempt our program is huge. And after that, they have to show that first year I'm able to clear all these courses with a certain minimum requirement which we are setting, which is 50% in every course. And if they do that, they can keep progressing. So it's all got to do with hard work, but that's hard work in the program. It is not hard work to complete an entrance examination to even get into the program. So we are not eliminating anybody from trying the program. But once in, you have to do your bit. The program has about 31 courses if you actually want to eventually get a degree. And those 31 courses are taught by IIT Madras faculty. And those are all going to be rigorous courses. And so if somebody succeeds in clearing all of those 31 courses, they are really good. And we want them to have this opportunity to actually express their ability, express their talent in front of all of us, and to later on to the industry, without having to worry about this thing that I have to prepare for an entrance examination, I have to go to a coaching class to get this done, otherwise there is no hope of me even looking inside an eye. So that's the opportunity that this program represents, and we are confident we'll deliver it without diluting our quality.
And Professor Andrew, are these going to be live classes that are going to take place? What's going to happen to the practical exams? How many kids can you have in a virtual classroom if this is indeed, I don't want to say kids actually, how many students can you have if this is indeed going to be a virtual classroom?
So first of all, the classes are not live. The lessons and material is recorded and made available on a portal. So students can access it anytime they want at their own convenience from wherever they are. So that's the first thing about the instruction. Like I mentioned, the exams are in person. So they have to go to the center at a particular time and write the exam. So the exams are synchronized that way in centers, but the instruction is completely online. Now, once you say it's online and people can view it when they want and answer when they want, there's really no serious restriction on the number of people we can handle. So we have not put a very serious limit on the number. Maybe in the starting few terms, we may have some overall very high number limit, but really there's no limit as far as that is concerned. And like Professor Prathap mentioned, we have now, in fact, thrown the ball firmly into the court of the learners, right? So are you hardworking enough? Are you ready to put in your time and work hard? You will get a degree. That's where we are now.
So Professor Pratap, is this going to be available for only Indians in India, or are you literally opening the doors of IIT Madras to the entire internet, where it's not going to matter that it's not just Indians, or even if it's Indians, they can be overseas living in any country?
Yes, so actually at the moment, as we said, the assessment is something that we expect will happen in person at exam centers in cities. Now, those cities at the moment are all in India. And so we are not really restricting anyone from taking it, but they would have to be in a position to come to those exam centers once a month. And therefore, in that sense, pretty much it is now restricted to people who are physically present within India. Within India, there is no geographical constraint. We are going to have cities all across the country. So you can learn from IIT Madras sitting anywhere in India. And so that is not a constraint. But right now, we have not really consciously focused on an audience that is abroad. I will also add that, the demand is so high within the Indian context itself that we feel it is important first to address this demand. And then once we have learned enough, once we have put in enough, facilities in place that it satisfies the demand in the country, then perhaps we can look at possibilities abroad. We are not ruling it out, but at the moment, that is not our focus.
I forgot to answer one of the other questions you asked previously. So it's about practical classes. So this subject that we have chosen, programming and data science, is a subject that for which all the classes can be done online. Whether it's practical, practice-oriented, project, everything can be done online. So the choice of the subject has also been made keeping that in mind.
Okay, so Professor Andrew, can you tell me how much this is going to cost? You know, if you're talking about democratizing education and this program at IIT Madras, what is it going to cost a person to enroll?
So the cost is something that we've already decided. If people can go to our website, onlinedegree.iitm.ac.in, the fee structure, term-wise fee structure, or the credit-wise fee structure is clearly mentioned. So I want to mention a few things about the cost without telling the actual numbers as such, which may not be very important to people. Please go to the website to see the actual numbers. But in terms of comparability, it's going to be easily comparable to premier city colleges. That's how we have fixed it. If you take a city college which is offering BSc Computer Science, the cost here is comparable to that. Having said that, I should also say you don't pay a fixed term fee or a semester fee or a tuition fee. You pay for what you learn. And the number of courses you have to do can be spread out over a much longer time than 3 years. While normally it's 3 years, you can spread it out over 6 years and do only 2 courses or a few credits every term. So the amount of money you'll be paying can be easily amortized over that. And it's very, very affordable. So it's quite easily affordable for middle class and lower middle class people in India. And also to keep the, to encourage people to attempt it more, the qualifying process, we have a small qualifying process. That process is very, very less. The price is really less for that. Anybody can attempt the qualifier. And then even after that, the first year, the foundational year is priced very, very less. It's priced at, in fact, much lesser than school fees for many people. So in fact, so since that is there, the first year can be tried without any fear of money or losing anything in most people. And the second and third year, a little bit more than that, but it's still affordable within comparable colleges.
So if I could come to you now, Professor Prathap, I want to also understand that why have you decided to do it solo? You know, if you look at some of the best universities and Ivy Leagues in the world, and I'm not taking away from IIT, I'm just trying to understand. For example, you look at Yale, MIT, Stanford, they have started offering courses on, let's say, Coursera, for example, really also trying to democratize education, democratize their courses, break down barriers, be a part of the internet freedom movement. Why is it that you have not decided to do that? Why on your own, not get on an existing platform?
It's a very good question, Nayantara. So actually, we have done a lot of pioneering work in the arena of online education in India. So we have had an online education process which has been running with us since 2003. And so we actually consider ourselves world leaders in this. We don't necessarily think of ourselves as second-rung institutes in this arena at all. And the more important thing is there is a lot of this online education process that we have Indianized. We have made a lot of things in this online education process that we from IIT Madras and through the NPTEL project and now through this degree process have put in a lot of features which are very Indian, which lend a lot of authenticity and credibility to the program in the Indian context. So this idea that we will run, in-person, invigilated exams, that is something that is almost unheard of in any of the other platforms that you speak about or have heard of internationally. There, everything is online, it is totally on faith, and there is no serious credibility on that certificate. You have no idea who wrote that exam. Here, you will show up at an examination center every month, you will prove your identity, and you will be writing an exam. So that kind of academic rigor. So we are not just doing something because online is available and we can show something online. We want to do it with the kind of rigor that people who take that course will feel a sense of satisfaction themselves, saying, I did a course in IIT Madras, which was of high standards. They tested me with high standards and I have done well in that course. I get that confidence. We want our students, our student community to get that confidence when they go for job interviews, when they represent themselves at their companies and so on. That social confidence, that educational confidence, that technical confidence with which they present themselves, that rigor which enables that is something that we have built into our system. We don't believe that any of the other systems that are available out there in large scale internationally even come close to this. And so I think we are, again, I would emphasize this, we have not done much publicity for what we have done. We have not done it commercially at all along in our NPTEL online education process. We have not done anything commercial. We have always kept it on a not-for-profit basis. And so we have sort of stayed below the radar. But if you actually look at our numbers, you look at what we have accomplished, we vastly exceed what is out there in terms of the depth of what we have accomplished and the scale at which we have accomplished while still maintaining quality.
Yeah, so I think people may not, I don't know if Nayantara herself has heard about the NPTEL program, the National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning. This is a program that was pioneered by IIT Madras in 2001, 2002, and we've been recording lectures, putting it up. And in fact, in the last 5 years, we've been running a very successful program called NPTEL Online Certification. The number of students in India who have participated in it is about 1 crore. And the number of people who have written exams for this NPTEL Online Certification is about 10 lakhs or more. In fact, a number of people who have been certified from IITs for doing individual courses is nearly 5 or 6 lakhs now. So those are the kind of numbers we're talking about today in the last 5 years. So in India, I think NPTEL is proven as much bigger offering of courses than many of the other international platforms. And we are taking off from that. So we are not doing it in isolation, or this is not a first wild shot at something. This is a very well researched, carefully thought out, natural next step to our NPTEL online certification, which has already been a huge success in India.
In fact, I'll also that our expectation is to set the standard in this. We are not following anybody. We are pioneering it, and we plan to set the standard. If somebody else wishes to follow, yes, they are most welcome to try. But this is our expectation, that we will set the standard and we will set it high.
Of course, sir, we are IITs, we are India, we do set the standard when it comes to engineering, doesn't it? Professors, thank you so much for being candid, for taking time out. These are the two professors who are pioneering the first ever kind of an engineering degree in the world. And you heard it first right here on ET Now. Professor Andrew, Professor Prathap, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Nayantara. Bye.
Bye.